Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Only Leeds Bros for player ratings. Not a good one. Leeds United ran out 1-0 losers away to Portsmouth down at Fratton Park on the weekend. Not a good one. Very under par performances, Dylan, if we're all going to be honest with ourselves. A little bit of a shake up, a little bit of something different here on player rating. So I'll be kind of hosting the show, asking Dylan his score, and then I will be giving the average OLB viewer score. So most of you might have seen today that we did put out on our social media today a link where you can go in and submit all your player ratings in there. It was across our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and stuff like that. So 33 of you guys did get involved in that today, which is brilliant numbers for the very first time doing this. And it is something that we want to keep doing again in the future and grow quicker, because we do kind of want to get the average kind of audience score out there as well, what they think. And again, something a little bit different, because everyone and their nannies are doing player ratings. So we want to try to do something a little bit different from that as well. Dylan, let's get straight into it then. So the man then that was refereeing the game, Robert Jones, Premier League referee. How do you think he got on?
You hit the nail on the head there straight away there. He's a Premier League referee. Didn't really seem like it, did he? I think he got a few errors wrong. And then this is something about VAR that's, gonna more or less gonna catch us out on, because that's something that he was looking to go to, especially with that foul against DJ, which was a penalty all day, every day. I just thought he was a bit smart with his cards at time. His fouls, just very silly. I think for Premier League, if that's the standard of refereeing in the Premier League, they need to do some sort of shaking up, don't they? Because it's already bad in the Championship. So if a referee can't see that, something seriously wrong. So straight off the bat, I went with the score.
He went to blow, Dylan, didn't he? You could see he went to blow. He had the whistle to his mouth and then pulled himself away. So yeah, not a good one again.
I think I'm being very generous with this. I'm giving him a 2.
A 2. Well, you're not far off. So the OLB viewers went a 2.5. So they were a little bit more generous than what you are. So a 2.5 for the referee, Robert Jones. Moving on then, Dylan, to Illan Meslier. Obviously a little bit of controversy with the goal. Rodon's being blamed. Mellier's being blamed. The high line, the ball in behind. Should Meslier keep coming? I thought generally over the game he was okay. How did you think he got on?
Yeah, I think I nudged you at the start of the game. I thought his distribution was quite good. Any type of chance that they were getting, he was safe hands. I actually thought he was all right in the first half. Coming into the second half, and then obviously the lead up to the goal itself, he hesitated. And he shouldn't have hesitated, and, kind of stopped, start sort of stuff. And by then it was too late. You knew it was going in. But, it's just like once the goal went in, his performance dropped,
Yeah.
So, not very happy, overly pleased with Meslier. I'm going with a 4.
4, not too bad again. Freddie in line with the old audience. They went with a 4.5 for Illan Meslier. So yeah, very close there.
It's a good start, lads.
And again, lads, Dylan doesn't know these scores. He doesn't know. I only know them because again, it was under my email address and that. So I only know the scores. So Dylan's going in blind here. Dylan, let's move on to the right back then. Jayden Bogle.
Straight off the bat, probably the worst performance I've seen this season for Jayden Bogle. Has really dropped. I'm going with 3, lads. Thought he was very poor.
Really?
Yeah. Thought he was very poor. I was very disappointed.
Probably the first one that's off. The audience went with a 5 for Jayden Bogle.
Fair enough.
So yeah, you're harsh there. They're a little bit more lenient.
Maybe I am a little bit harsh. I just think the standard I've seen him at yesterday, he just loose balls at the start of the game.
Below his
he just looked wrecked, looked jaded. And maybe that's something, Farkas to look at, giving these boys a rest. I'm very nervous. And I just didn't think he was completely at it. He just looked very tired for me.
Yeah, I agree. Move on then to the man that was beside him on the right-hand side of that defence, Joe Rodon. Dylan, how do you think he got on? Obviously, people are saying he's a bit culprit for the goal. How did you see it?
Yeah, I think he's definitely the man. He let his man get in behind him. It was a great ball that was played forward. I just thought, I don't know, it just wasn't at it. I think, just real quick, straight off the bat, everyone in that defence isn't going to get a high score at me straight off the bat.
We felt ropey, didn't we, yesterday?
Yeah, definitely. I think he was better than what Bogle was anyway, so I'll go with a 4 for Rodon, but just wasn't at it for me again.
Yeah, the viewers went with a 5, Dylan, so not too far off at that one. So yeah, not impressed with them as well. Viewers, let's move on then to the man that was part of them then beside him. Pascal Struijk was the captain on the day. How did you see him?
for such a big unit, look, straight off the bat, I'll give him a 4 as well. But what's
You're
irritating?
going in low
Yeah,
here.
yeah, very very disappointed with the defence. I thought all over the place yesterday, really all over the place, and that kind of gave us, you know, they got the sniff basically more or less that our defenders weren't at it, our midfielders weren't at it, and then sure if none of that's at it, then the wingers or the forwards not going to do anything, that kind of way.
Mm.
Which was a real look anyway. Yeah, I just think with Stroke, he's a big unit. He should be taking more chances when it comes to set pieces. For example, corners. At one stage he had the ball, just kicked it out of play. Tried to send, if I'm mistaken, I think it was Ramazani through, or it could have been
It
Solomon. It
was
was definitely
poor.
on
The
my left hand
passing
side.
from Rodon and
Yeah,
Strike yesterday was poor.
yeah,
Dylan wasn't
very
coming
poor,
out from
very
it.
poor. So yeah, look, maybe I am being a little bit harsh, but
Audience went with a 6 Dylan for Pascal Strike, so they thought that he was the better of the
a
two
5 I would have
him
said
and
fair enough. I
Rodon.
think
So a 6 is what the average OBL viewers went for. Moving on to left back then, Dylan Junior Firpo. Yeah, I'm just gonna have a little say on him, Dylan. He gave me Premier League Firpo vibes yesterday. Not good. How did you see it?
we were in the Camden. If people haven't watched it, and the lads that were behind me as I was watching the match, just that's all I kept hearing coming out of people's mouth was Firpo, Firpo, Firpo.
Yeah,
He just doesn't. Yeah, Premier League Firpo. I know what you're getting at. Look, I went with a 3 for Firpo. I'm very disappointed with him. I have to be honest. I'm very disappointed. At times, especially in the second half, he was unlucky with that chance. Should have put it away. If I'm being honest, kind of simply at the keeper. To a certain degree, but yet again, the only one trying to make some sort of impact apart from Pirro. But his defence awareness was bad. His sloppy passing. Yeah, simply not good enough.
yeah. So where you going with? What's your score?
I'm having a 3.
Three for
Three
Firpo.
for.
So yeah, again, the OLB audience are a little bit more lenient than you, Dylan. They went with a 5 for Junior Firpo. Let's move on to the middle of the park then. El Tanaka, Dylan. My opinion, probably one of his worst performances in Leeds Short. How did you see him?
Yeah, 4 straight off the bat. Very disappointed with Tanaka. Just simply wasn't at it.
Kept
Not
losing
very
it and all, Dylan,
non-existent.
didn't he?
Yeah, losing it. Silly passing though. I just think from the defence to the midfield weren't on it for me yesterday.
Yeah. What's the score?
4.
4 for Tanaka. The OLB audience went with a 5.5 for El Tanaka. So
Man for the
again,
halves, aren't he?
yeah, man for a half. So a little bit more lenient than you, Dylan. Let's move on then to his midfield partner on the day, Ilya Gruev. Some people couldn't have foreseen it. The away game, Gruev was going to come back in. A lot of people were crying out for Rotwell after the first 20 minutes, half an hour on the Camden. We all heard it. Ilya Gruev, Dylan, how did you find him yesterday?
Very disappointing straight off the bat. I'll go with a 3.5. I think I'm being generous.
You're really going low.
Yeah, really going low for these boys. Yeah, it just straight off the bat. It should have been utilised for away games. He's been used for away games and just haven't been performing. So for home games, he shouldn't be anywhere near the pitch.
He was
Very
sluggish,
disappointed with
slow
Gruev, and
yesterday.
it's just kind of hard for me to say that because obviously the Ampadu and Gruev situation that we're having, the joke that we're having, but very disappointed in Gruev. It's probably the worst player on the pitch yesterday for me.
Mm. Well, the OLB average score for Ilya Gruev was a 5, Dylan, for Ilya Gruev yesterday. So, yeah, very similar to what you went with as well. Move on then to right wing then. Dan James, Dylan, me probably, it's mad to say, but probably the best of a bad bunch, I think, yesterday for me. Dan James, how did you see it?
Yeah, probably a 5. Being, he just wears his heart on his sleeve, DJ. Doesn't give up. Just unlucky with a few chances. He tries to create something. Sometimes it's hard for him to get into the game. But yeah, 5. I didn't think he did anything overcritical, but didn't do anything that was solid either. That kind of way. Just,
Below
he has
par,
that pace and tries. He does try.
Yeah. Right, so the average OLB score was 6.5 for Dan James. So, yeah, not too bad for Dan James, as I said. I think
I'm just a
probably the
harsh
best.
man, I am.
Yeah, you're very, very hard. You're definitely not recovered after yesterday. Anyway,
No.
hey, Brendan Aronson, what did you think?
Yeah, look, I'll give him a 3.5. Didn't play well. Can't really be too crucial on him, lads. I'm just going to be quick off the bat. He's playing every game. The
Flogged,
boy,
didn't he?
the fella's
He's
like
jaded.
tired, like,
He's absolutely jaded. Yeah.
he's tired, like, and off. I don't think there's any more to comment on. I think he's doing what he can. The man's tired.
Yeah. The OLB audience went with a 4 for Brendan Aronson, Dylan. So very similar there with that one as well. Move on then to Manor Solomon then on the left hand side. Dillo, what did you think?
5.5. Solomon, I think he created a lot. You know, he shows his qualities in each and every
There
game.
was one chance, Dylan, sorry for cutting across. There was one where James squared it to him and he just got his touch a little bit wrong.
Yeah.
He went by the goalkeeper, pulled it back, and Pirro should have been doing a little bit better. Seen a couple of clips online where the defender gets a toe to the ball just before Pirro strikes it. So it probably doesn't look that bad of a miss. But I think if Solomon gets his touch right there, he's putting the ball in the back of the net, isn't he?
Yeah, straight off the bat. You know, you feel sorry in him at times because he's definitely one of them confidence, motivational players. So yeah, I went with a 5.5. I feel sorry.
So the OLB viewers went with a 6 for Manor Solomon on this one, Dillo. Let's move on then to Joe Pirro up top, Dylan. He probably should have had 2 on another day. He was our top goal scorer so far this season. Yeah, what did you think of Joe Pirro yesterday?
So I say my score for, so yeah, I went with a 4 for Pirro.
Jesus, very low.
Very low, and it hurts me to say that. You know, we always bang this drum week in, week out about Pirro. He's a natural goal scorer, which he is, by the way, and that's what he does, put him in front of the net, and he scores, but he didn't do it yesterday. So, apart from all that, the last couple of weeks, every time that he's been dropping into the tent, to be fair, I think he's done okay. Surprisingly, I still don't want him playing there, but he has done okay. He's being a bit more involved in the game, coming looking for the ball, but he's still that little bit slow of arriving into the box, etc. But then, you know, as you said, his natural goal scoring is where it's at, and it wasn't at it yesterday. So I'm very disappointed with Pirro, to be honest.
Yeah. So the average OLB score was a 5.5 for Joel Pirro yesterday. Definitely should have had at least a goal anyway, if not 2. Let's move on to the substitutions then. The first one, Dylan, will go with Teo Joseph first of all.
A 4. Again, made his pressing was good at times, bit unlucky at times. But then, yeah, look, I don't know. I just feel like his time's just taking on. He's not really making any impact anytime he comes on. So,
yeah. So the OLB audience went with a 5.5 for Matteo Joseph yesterday. To Largy Ramazani, Dylan, we've all been calling out from. We got to see him yesterday. Did he make an impact?
Definitely didn't make an impact. Showed some sort of signs at times. I think he's down to confidence. I think it's from the injury.
It's just game time, isn't it?
Yeah, similar to what Manor Solomon went through with his back that time. So yeah, look, it's probably a bit harsh or maybe a bit too positive. I went with a 5. I just feel like Ramazani, he is trying.
You're right on the button then. The OLB audience went with a 5 as well for Largy Ramazani. Let's move on to Willie Nonto next, Dylan.
Very disappointed with Nonto again, lads. I don't know what the story is with him. I really do.
Impacted, didn't you know?
Kind of
it was weird the position he came on though, Dylan. Didn't he?
It was in middle, more or less, yeah. I don't know, like these players, as I said, something that we're banging on the drum, utilising the subs this year, haven't been making impacts when you have to come on. These are the games they need to. So for me, for Willie Nonto.
3. So the OLB audience went with a 4, Dylan, for Willie Nonto this one. Sam Boyram,
Dylan? He's a bit too. Yeah, look, I'll go with a 4. He does a job for defending. Doesn't really get you going forward. Probably being a bit harsh with Sam, just simply because we haven't seen him. But you know, to be fair, that wasn't the game for him yesterday. I didn't think he should have been brought on.
Yeah. He was unlucky. He had one chance with a header, didn't he, where he forced a save. Everything else, I think he was very much coming back inside and lateral passing. So again, like what you said, trying to get us up the pitch, didn't really feel. But Bogle looked jaded, so it was just it kind of felt like needs must.
Non-existent.
But bang on the head, Dylan, exactly what the OLB viewers went with a 4 for Sam Boyram as well. So yeah, bang on the money there with that one. Joe Rotwell, Dylan.
Yeah, look, at times he tried to, you know, especially from a set pieces, you know, we're slowing it down an awful lot and we really going for it. Putting it in the box was one that he took. He had to beat one man and simply couldn't do that. So, look, it's simply 11 players that were starting and the players that did come on, none of them were simply at it. It was just a bad game, a bad day at the office. So, we wrote well for me, 4.5.
4.5 for Joe Rotwell. Jeez, that was very low. The average OLB audience went with a 6.5, Dylan, for Joe Rotwell. So you're well out there with that one. Last but by no means least, and the new one that we're going to be rating the manager as well. So obviously he's the one that makes the big calls in the game when things aren't going right from Dylan. Daniel Farke yesterday, what did you make? First of all, probably his team lineup, substitutions, how he dealt with pressure. That's what you'd be kind of going off with Daniel Farke.
Rotwell should have started. Now, I know he didn't play great, but he should have started. I think Ruev Shouldn't get into this team at the minute. Just he highly annoyed me yesterday. Uh, for me, Fark, he probably got. I'll give him man management was bad as well. These lads a 4.5.
Yeah. So the OLB audience went with a 4, Dylan. So you're a little bit more. Sorry, a 4.5. Sorry,
Yeah.
4.5.
So bang the button.
4.5.
We're on the button.
Daniel
Love it.
Sorry, yeah. 4.5 for Daniel Park. So you're on the money there with that
Yeah.
one as well. Yeah, that's it then for player ratings. Really enjoyed that one again. It's something different, as I said, guys, that we're trying to bring to it. Thanks very much to the 30 odd of you that did input your player rating score. We do want to build that more as the weeks go on, but it isn't over yet. You can still play along. Let us know in the comment box below your scores, whether you agree with Dylan's score, whether you agree with the OLB audience score,
Just
or
come
if
on
you
and
just
laugh
don't,
at me
if you,
and start
or
giving
if
me
you just
stick.
don't agree with it whatsoever at all. So yeah, that's it for player rating. Slap a like on the video and hit subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. We're very, very close to that 2K mark. We're about 101, 102 subs off that one. So if you haven't already, please slap a like on the video
Crazy.
and subscribe. It means the world to us. That's it from player ratings. We'll chat you all again soon. Mind yourselves and mind each other.